Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay from JSmart. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're doing a mukbang. I went to Domino's, or Domino's came to me, and I ordered a pizza cracker thing. I got a free pizza coupon thing because I ordered so much from Domino's. They sent me like a free pizza, so I thought, hey, I will try a free pizza and do a video on it. I have a story time video for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys, for some reason or another, you are interested in my dating life. So we're going to talk about my ex, my very first boyfriend. I got a ham, thin crust pizza. I didn't want to really eat anything heavy, like pizza-wise. So I thought I would get a thin crust. So, my ex. I don't even know if he watches this video because he knows I make this channel, or I'm a part of this channel, but we have not talked for a long time. Mainly because I broke up with him and I just didn't want to talk to him anymore. But if you see this, hey, what's up? I'm not gonna say what his name is, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna name him John. John, right? So, Mr. John. I kind of feel bad about talking about him in a negative light because I don't think he's inherently a bad person. But I will say that we just don't work out very well. For reasons that may be obvious to some people and some people not. But anyway, let me talk about him. So, me and John, we dated for about a year. Actually, exactly a year. I think we got together in, was it August? I don't remember. August or something. And we broke up again in August. This was about a year ago, I would say. The last time I talked to him was back in August. I got Diet Coke, if you guys are wondering. So, Mr. John. I've always held some kind of like contempt. Is contempt the right word? Contempt for him. Because of just who he was as a person and how his personality aggravated me so much. So he's 30 years old. Before he met me, he never had a job. And ironically, his first job was when he was with me, and it was at Domino's. On-call Domino's part-time position. Taller than I am, skinnier than I am. Not quite what I was expecting when I met him. His voice is like very deep. I could not tell that he was gay at all. My gaydar just did not work. But it was an overall like nice relationship. It wasn't like great. We definitely had our fights. Of course, it was mostly me being angry at him, him taking most of the blows. I take full responsibility for the fact that I was not the best boyfriend in my first relationship. I'm not like a terrible person, but I did have a lot of issues that I had to deal with. What? So, anyway, I'm talking about John. So he's 30. He lived with his mom. He was getting like welfare checks or something from the government. I don't quite understand for what. So that's how he was making money, and that was how he was helping his mom. Which, you know, he did have some kind of like legal disability. Not legal, clinical disability, but it was one of those disabilities that it's a disability, one of those conditions that he kind of grew out of as he got older, but for some reason he didn't want to work. John, one of the reasons why I broke up with him was because he did not find work. He was kind of very stubborn. He didn't want any job. He wanted a specific kind of job, even though he did not have any experience in like college. He did get a GED, which if you have a GED and you didn't graduate high school, like, it does not matter to me. But he did not have any after GED college experience. No degree, no certificate, and yet no job experience. And yeah, he expected to find a really nice job with the lack of job history and school history that he had. It was just ridiculous to me. But, oh God. I remember when we were dating, I would pay for everything. Like, pretty much everything. Because he didn't have a job. And he lived all the way south. And I live closer to, like, I mean, to keep it very general, I lived like around the Seattle area in Washington, and he lived way down in like Lakewood, like Tacoma, like that huge area. And so it would take me like 40 minutes when there's no traffic to get to his house, and I would go to his house like maybe twice a week. I wouldn't spend more than 24 hours with him because his mom didn't know that he was gay, and he was kind of, you know, still in the closet with a lot of people, so I wasn't allowed to sleep over because the mom might find out or something. I don't know. It's like looking back to what was going on when I was dating him. It's kind of like, why did you start dating him kind of thing, you know? Like I still don't understand why I started dating him. Well, actually, I do understand. He was my first person that I was in a relationship with. He was my first boyfriend. I was his first boyfriend, even though he's been with a lot of people sexually. I was his first relationship. And at the time, he was the first person I've ever did anything with. Kiss, hold hands, hug. Not hug, but you know what I mean, like did anything sexual with. He was the first one, and so I kind of got attached to him really quickly. But personality-wise, he's a great guy. Very easy to talk to. Kind of, sort of. He's just very smart, and I found his intellect and his backwards thinking very attractive in like an intellectual kind of way. But I'm the kind of person that I don't really judge people too quickly, and I like making new friends, and I find everyone fascinating. So at the time I didn't see the fact, all these, you know, negative marks on him, like the fact that I didn't have a job and that I had to pay for everything, that he lived far, he didn't know how to drive, he didn't have a car. You know, and just so many things I did not really consider when I was with him. But I guess I was blind to all that, and I really did love him at some point. I actually broke up with him like 2-3 times during the relationship, and I'll tell you about those as the video goes on. Mm. Mm. Sorry, give me a hot minute, okay? I'm so hungry. Mm. Anyway, I'll probably make another video regarding like the history of a relationship, or I guess I can talk about it now. No, I'm gonna talk about it now. So anyway, let's just start from the beginning. So I met my ex on freaking OkCupid. You're gay if you don't have a lot of options for dating other than like going to the club and online dating. You can't just find someone, like a random gay person, unless you have really good luck out getting groceries or something, you know. You kind of have to just meet someone at a place where gay men tend to hang out at, which is like gay bars, gay clubs, online, other stuff like that. And so I met him on OkCupid. And we had talked online for like, I don't know, like a few days, or about 2 weeks, and then we decided to call each other for the first time. Now, I have talked to a few people online before. I've been on Grindr, I've been on OkCupid, I've been on Tinder, you name it, I've been on it. And I never talked to anyone. He was the first person that I actually reached out to, and the first gay person that I thought that I was interested in. And honestly, when I looked at his picture, he wasn't like ugly, you know. He was decent. He was not really my type, simply because I don't know, he just didn't appeal to me. His physical features, not of like his race or anything, it just like the personality that he was exuding in the pictures didn't really appeal to me. He was just very, I don't know, kind of like stiff and whatever. But when I talked to him, I was very turned on by how deep his voice was. It's so bad. But he seemed like a very cordial, nice guy, very smart. And we talked for like 2 weeks. I mean, the first time we talked, I like sat in the library, the library parking lot, starting at 7 o'clock, and then I stayed there until like 10:30, just talking to this guy. And then we spent hours talking on the phone, hours. And then 2 weeks later, we decided to meet. Of course, because I didn't drive, I went to his house, all the way in freaking Tacoma. It took so long to get there. When I finally got there, you know, knocked on his door, opened the door, he invited me in. When I first saw him, again, he wasn't what I thought he would be, like physically. I thought he was cute enough, but at the time I didn't really have a lot of dating experiences or like guys to compare him to. He was just like He was a relatively cute person. Oh, no, I am missing a very important fact. We actually did not meet at his house first. We met at the mall first. I went to some mall in Tacoma. I don't remember. Sat in the mall. And I remember sitting down, feeling nervous as hell and wanting to leave. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I got there early, and I sat there for like a good 20 minutes. And he got there, and this guy takes out his phone, and he walks up to me and says, "Hey," and he's like scrolling on his phone. And I look up at him, and I'm like, "Hey," and I'm looking around like, "Is this the same guy that I've been talking to?" And like, I saw his pictures, but he looked a little different in person. And he was so awkward. So we walked around the mall. And I thought, this is not going to work out at all. I'm walking around. We go into GameStop because we both like video games. And I remember him smelling a little funky. Just like a little tad bit of BO on our first meetup. And I remember because I was like going around another guy because he was in the way of one of the game cartridge aisles or whatever. So I was going around him. John walks in front of me and we kind of rub bodies, which normally would be kind of erotic if not for the fact that when I did that, I just smelled a very strong smell. And I was just like, oh god. Okay, we are back, sort of, kind of. Sorry, the position changed a little bit. My current boyfriend, called. So the pizza got cold, so I went to go microwave it. But anyway, back to my story. Kind of forgot where we left off. Oh yeah, he smelled. And that was something that over the relationship I just had to get used to. Well, yeah. After the meeting, parted ways. I dropped him back to his house. And then the next time we met, I went to his house. This is where the story really starts. So, next time I saw him, I went to his house. Invited me in. And my first impression was just like, I'm entering his house, whatever. And I go upstairs, and I swear to God, I was like, I thought I walked into like the garbage dump. Like, his house was so messy. Like, it's extremely messy, guys. Like, clothes were everywhere. There was like bread and food all over the floor, and like laundry and plates with food just sitting in random places. It was disgusting. I did not understand how anyone could live like that. It honestly looked like a garbage dump. It was so bad. And that was the first thing that turned me off, because I was like, if someone can live like this, how? I don't want my house to look like that. You know? It's funny because while we were dating, like, he never really thought it was messy. Like, he said it was cluttered. That's not cluttered. That house is trashed up. Like, he had a turkey. It was like February. He had a turkey that was there for like 5 months. Oh my God. I could not with that. could not. Um, but anyway, so I found a nice clean spot on the couch, and there wasn't a lot of room, and I think I sat on a few laundry pieces, like a few clothing. Sat on the couch, we were talking. He was a dancer, so he danced for me in the middle of his living room. He was really into K-pop. I think he still is. And he really thought he was a good dancer, but honestly, I never had the guts to tell him that I didn't think he was so good. I think I did try to kind of say that, you need to work on something, but then he got offended and said that he was doing that. Oh, but maybe he was nervous. I don't know. But he danced in front of me. He became super sweaty. And then he turned on his air conditioner, which is this old funky thing that kind of leaked. So he had a bucket that was catching all the water. And then we sat down, got to talking, and it was just, the smell was so bad, and I think it's because he was, he literally would just spent 2 hours dancing, and so he was sweating everywhere, and it would just smelled so bad, he didn't shower for days. I remember hugging him. He's like, "I'm glad you're here," so I hugged him, and my hand touched his back, and it was just sweat. So my hand just went squish, all sweat, and I looked, we were hugging, and I looked at my hands and saw a glisten of water, sweat on my hands. I'm just like, oh, that's so gross. Well, at this moment in time, while we were dating, I was not a confident person. I thought, this is the best I could get. Might as well just go for it. So, his house is set up weird to where it's 3 stories. The bedrooms are upstairs, but his bedroom was an extension of the basement. So we went downstairs into his garage and then into his room. And we put on Netflix, as cliche as that is. And stuff happened. So if you're at this part of the video and you're under the age of I don't know, whatever age NSFW stop talking about. If you're under the age of 16 or something and you can't take adult content, you can click away now because I'm about to get a little NSFW. So go ahead and click out if you can't handle it. I can wait. Alright. Hello, adults and little children that should not be on here. So I get to his bedroom, we turned on Netflix, the blinds were shut. I kind of knew what was going to happen, but let me tell you, keep in mind that this is my first ever intimate experience with anything. And I was 21 at the time. No. 23. 22. 22 at the time. 22. So we sat together. We kind of our hands kind of inched towards each other. And my hand was over his. And then we started holding hands. This is the first time I ever held hands with a guy. And I touched his face. And I was so afraid to kiss him. I was so anxious. He looked towards me, waiting for me to kiss him. And at this point, I could smell his breath. And his breath was so bad, guys. I was like, oh, I don't get it. But I was just so, I don't know, in lust at that moment that I looked at him and I kissed him. But when I kissed him, I missed. I went for his face and then I kissed him right here on accident. And I pulled away really quickly and started watching Netflix again. because I just wanted to break the ice, and he was like, "That was quick." And then I tried again, and then I kissed him for real. And it was a nice first kiss. I always thought that I would be a good kisser. Since meeting my first boyfriend, I've kissed plenty of guys, I guess, and I know I'm a good kisser. I think it's because my lips are pretty, like, large. I don't know. But I kissed him, and it was nice. Yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable talking about the other stuff. But, maybe I won't talk about it. I'm afraid he might see this and get mad at me. We know we don't talk, but anyway, we had sex, okay? Stuff happened. And I couldn't finish, if you know what I mean. I couldn't finish because I was too nervous, but he did. It was nothing like penetrative. It was very like third base kind of stuff. But it was, yeah, that was my first time doing anything sexual. It was amazing. And then we were done. We hugged and watched TV some more, and then I think we did it again later on in the night. And then I went home. And then we were together for a year. And then I broke up with him because I just couldn't stand his personality anymore. The thing I don't like about thin crust pizza is that it gets cold so quickly. I can save the breakup story for another day if you guys want to hear about it. I just thought I would do a more mukbang story time kind of video. When I broke up with my ex, I never really felt a sense of loss, which is really strange because I think if you dated someone for a year, you would go through the mourning process. And I know it's like easier for the person that breaks up with the person. I broke up with him. But I had no qualms about doing it. I felt really good. At first I felt like a terrible person, because I felt like I should have cried or something. And all I did was feel really bad. That's about it. Because like I said, I don't think he's an inherently bad person. I just think he's just really immature. And he just didn't align with my life. I don't care about money to the point where I'll like judge someone for like the job that they have if it doesn't pay enough. But if someone's trying and they're hardworking, I appreciate that. I don't care if they don't have a job, as long as they can support themselves. And I mean, I don't care if they're rich. I just want them to support themselves. If they're adults, if they don't have a job, maybe they're in school or working very hard to find a job, you know. But John didn't work hard. He would take frequent breaks. When he would do an interview, sometimes he'd be late for his interview. He was a lot late for a lot of his interviews, and he blamed it on public transportation. Whoa, that burp, sorry. He blamed it on his phone, the alarm not going off, on transportation, just like stupid stuff, you know. Like if just talking about it makes me a little irritated. Okay, take ownership for your actions, right? I think ultimately that's what ended the relationship, because it was just so... it was like I was like the parent badgering the son to go find work and work, you know? Like, I don't want to be someone's parent. Especially when they're like 7 years older than I am. I'm almost done. Did I tell you guys the inspiration for this video? Not really inspiration, but the reason why I got thin crust pizza is because of Merrick Eats. If you guys don't know him, check out his channel. It's literally Merrick Eats, Merrick Eats. I'll put a link in the description if I don't forget. Cool guy. He was eating thin crust in one of his videos, so I was really craving it. So I thought, hey, let me go try that. I'm glad I did. I don't feel bloated. I'm so tired. Hold on. That was really good. Alright, guys. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little story time. It's like my first story time video, I think. Is it? I don't know. I feel like it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. If there's something you guys want me to tell next time, let me know what story you want me to tell. I'll talk about anything practically, so long as it's not too NSFW. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much. I am full of pizza. I want to go to bed now. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye.